We're going to turn the mics on. Ms. Colby, you'll lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father in heaven, we're grateful for this day, Lord. We're so thankful for this warm weather and the sunshine, Father, coming out of the winter. Father, help us as we sit through this meeting this evening. Help us to make good decisions for the city. We're thankful for all who are attending, Lord, and the efforts that they give. In Jesus' name, amen. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We'll begin with roll call. Ms. Ripa?
Foster.
Here.
Hinch. Here. Colby.
Colby.
Peters.
Here.
Newkirk.
Here.
Wiseman. Here. Bach.
Here.
Mayor Evans, I didn't know if you had any other recognitions or
No, sir.
anything.
Not tonight.
Before we go on, I would like to just mention, about a year ago, we sat here and we recognized Olivia Kennedy. Olivia is a Jackson graduate. She's a member of the Northern Kentucky track team, and she had won her conference meet last year, and her and her dad came. Well, just to let you know, she repeated. She won again a week ago in their conference meet, and not only did she win the 800, she set a new conference record. So nice things for folks from Jackson. And then on top of that, the Kennedy family also had a son who qualified for the state wrestling tournament in high school. So they really had two outstanding children to qualify for both conference championship and for the state championship in wrestling. I don't think we had anybody on our dais to speak this evening, so we'll go into the committee reports. I will ask any of the committee chairmen if you have anything to bring forward for that. Okay, I get it. Hearing none, we'll move into the approval of the minutes, February 23rd meeting. Any corrections, objections to be brought forward about the minutes?
Move to adopt the minutes as presented.
Mr. Peters, second by Mr. Newkirk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. We will begin then with Mr. Reed. Auditor's report.
I have no report.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Kirby?
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. Chief Hinch?
No report, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, excuse me. See, you're doing that different. I thought you said Reed, so you're doing that different.
Mr. Reed?
No, I mean the committee reports.
Yes, in the committee.
Can I start with, can I do something?
If you have something.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Go ahead,
yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
I apologize.
Let everybody else know here, I spoke to Mr. Hinch about this and his officers. They said it's a situation that really nothing can be done, but it's a complaint. We got young people with diesel trucks, and the exhaust is very piped up. And they're playing games at the shopping center on the south end of town where they're building the Starbucks. And this particular group, the police has been told about it. Is that right, Mr. Hinch?
That's incorrect.
There is, I'm wrong?
No, that's okay. I spoke to a complainant about that today.
Okay.
Before I walked over here today, I was reviewing a stack of call records. I had somebody accumulate the number of them, and so we're going to work on a plan for that.
Okay.
There's some things that can be done. I will say,
Okay.
the one difference, the property owner, and that's one of the major differences.
correct.
In other complaints similar before, but that doesn't mean that they're not violating ordinances that will enforce.
Right. I have another one then. Have you been aware of I think it's a two-story blue house. I did not get the number. I go by it every night, but I can't see in the backyard at night, the corner of Bennett and State. I just went by there myself now, and there is a Crown Victoria sitting in the backyard on no frame. And there's another junk vehicle in the backyard. I understand the people that lives in the house owns the former car wash across from Osco. So you was aware of any of that?
I'm not, and I
Okay.
will, that doesn't mean I won't be by tomorrow morning.
Well, I just ran into Mr. I'm bad at names. And I stopped him in the street and I said, "Are you going to take a look at that?" And he said, "No, I don't know anything about it." So, anyhow, that's all I've got.
Thank you. I have a related traffic. The bridge at Harding Avenue, that all the time. I saw it be a truck route because there is a route that you could go from Main to Broadway instead of cutting through a residential neighborhood. And it's also really dangerous. Trucks can't make the turn. It's like a 52-point turn to go around the corner there. But we paid for that bridge. I know the state helps, but we still have to match that money. And I think that that's something that we need to look into to preserve that. It's replaced. I don't think big trucks should be driving across there.
I'm not aware of restrictions on that bridge, but that doesn't mean I can't.
Well, I mean, the other part is just it's a residential neighborhood. It's not a state route. There's a business route that the trucks could take, and GPS would probably tell them to do so. Turn onto Harding, your GPS is going to reroute them back up the way anyway. So,
You're talking about the bridge
Yeah,
apart.
at Harding.
It's been, what, it's new within the last 15 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
And that's going on other places too. These trucks will do anything to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, and I just think that that's something that needs to be looked at to stop truck traffic from just driving through residential neighborhood.
Mr. Newkirk?
Today, I was behind a Coca-Cola truck going to the golf course. They went up and they got there by where the church says up on the bank, where they stopped. And I they stopped. Well, they're letting the traffic come through. They had to go over to get by the trees. Small, all that church lot there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was going to hit those trees.
Yeah.
So that was another issue, them going through there. He could have went on the Main Street and came up instead of on the border.
They're not going to do it.
Unless they're delivering in that neighborhood, why would you take a truck on Water Street?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
go up the Main Street. You should have went up more of the
Yeah,
Main
go.
Street.
If we're going to go any farther and talk about this, the trucks that runs David Avenue through residential, it shouldn't be done.
Maybe we could have that
That's a state route.
That's a state route.
from David to,
Yeah.
David to South is a state route.
776.
no, he's talking about from state to across. So he's talking about State Street
State to David.
to David,
Mhm.
or state to south, I should say. On
Yeah, state, right.
David
right,
Avenue
right,
from
Right.
south to state is
Right,
what I was thinking about.
right.
It's not. I know what you're talking.
Anything else? Anything, Mr. Henson, came out of any of that conversation you want to speak to?
No.
Okay, I'll circle back, I'll circle on ahead.
People do have, you know, pieces of information like this forwarded on. I mean, we've got people to distribute this to look at this and enforce it. Thank you for making me aware.
Mayor Evans?
Yes, sir. Oh, my report?
Yes.
So, every meeting, I try to keep council informed of things that are going on. But tonight, in anticipation of a short meeting, I'm going to go ahead and give council my annual so-called State of the City report. I'll try to keep it brief, because it is awful beautiful outside tonight. Anyway, I've had the privilege of serving as Mayor of Jackson for over 6 years now. Each year has brought new achievements and new challenges. We all, meaning all of us in this room, my administration, city employees, have stepped up to every challenge and opportunity to make Jackson a great community for our families, both today and tomorrow. We may not all agree on every issue, but I believe we all have the same goal, and that's to make Jackson better every day. Key resource for the city of Jackson, can't have any kind of a talk without talking about this, is our income. And I want to thank all of you for your support and the community for this tax that was approved in May that will continue to generate approximately $4 million in revenue each year. This revenue is crucial to funding our police department It's crucial to funding our infrastructure improvements, including street pavement, and it also now is helping our fire department. Our police department provides coverage for Jackson 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In 2025, the department responded to over 6,500 calls for service. That's a lot. Our community is safer today than it used to be, with lower crime and less drugs, because we have a fully funded, fully staffed, fully trained, and properly equipped police department, paid for by the income tax. Our fire department is also thriving. Membership is up to 17 members. We've recently negotiated new fire protection contracts with both Lick Township and Franklin Township, and continue to provide mutual aid for other neighboring areas. The Jackson Fire Department has a great turnout and response times for their calls, and a renewed emphasis has been placed on firefighter training. Jackson Fire Department made 375 calls last year. Improving our aging infrastructure continues to be a major priority for the city. The income tax provides match money and contingency funds that we need to apply for these grants. In the last 6 years, we've been awarded over $25 million in grant funding. This wouldn't have been possible without the income tax. This additional funding has allowed us to complete many projects. You can't walk or drive around Jackson these days without running into a city project. We've been able to replace approximately 20,000 linear feet of water lines. We've repaired roughly 13,000 linear feet of sewer lines. We've paved over 30 miles of city streets. We've repaired curbs and sidewalks, and now we're even repairing the last of our brick streets. However, there is much more to do. With approximately 70 miles of water lines, 50 miles of sewer lines in our collection system, some over 100 years old, we have a lot more to do, and more projects are already in the works thanks to grant funding and the income tax. Our water and sewer plants are doing well. We produce over 1.5 million gallons of water every day and treat even more sewage than that. However, we also know that future investments and improvements will be needed there. The city has made a lot of progress in the last several years since we implemented our new GIS mapping system. Today, we have most of our city utility assets recorded on the interactive map system that is used every single day by our workers out in the field. Two major projects the city broke ground on in 25 is the new City Hall project and the downtown revitalization project. A nice downtown is a vital part of any great little old city like Jackson. In recent years, we have seen the remains of the last revitalization that happened almost 30 years ago. And now with grant money, we're going to redo it all again. We are redoing it all again. This time, we're also replacing the very old water lines in that downtown area, as well as the curbs, the sidewalks, the lighting, the landscaping, and the paving. Although construction is messy and disruptive, the end result will be well worth it with our downtown. As a new mayor, 6 years ago, I recalled how the city had struggled for decades trying to figure out what to do with the memorial building. Most everybody in town, including myself, had fond memories of past events there, but most city functions had long moved out, and the building had continued to deteriorate. We budgeted and set aside money each year since 2000 with the hope that eventually we'd be able to figure something out. And with that money and the help of grant money, we are preparing to build a new city hall that should serve the next 90 years like the memorial building served the last 90. We continue to make improvements at our parks and other areas. We have a few other grant-funded projects in the works. One that will create some new multi-use trails in the city that connect our parks and our downtown. One that will do some cleaning along Salt Creek to help mitigate flooding throughout the city, and one to improve the horse trails and other improvements at Hammertown Lake. Jackson continues to provide excellent services to our residents and our growing commercial industry. Jackson has a long-standing reputation of quick, efficient utility services. Much of our infrastructure is aging, but when we have a water line break, a sewer backup, an electric outage, our city employees respond quickly and efficiently, and they have for a long time. At the new Tim Hortons ribbon cutting last week, I talked to the owner. He has built restaurants in many different towns, and he relayed that Jackson was absolutely the best city he's ever worked with in terms of helping them with permits and acquiring utility services quickly, affordably, and efficiently. We were faced with some challenging ice and snowstorms this winter, and our employees did an outstanding job responding. Our streets were safe and drivable within hours, not days. Water, sewer, electric, garbage services, they were all maintained with very few interruptions. Our garbage collection was improved this past year with the standardization of the cans and the automation of the garbage truck collection. This is a major improvement for the city in terms of safety, cost, and efficiency. We're always looking for ways to improve, which is to improve what we do, which is provide services to our citizens. John Maxwell, a well-known leadership expert and author, he said, "Change is inevitable. Growth is optional." Change can be challenging, but it's necessary if we want to keep this city moving forward. These papers stuck together. I want to thank everyone at this table and all our city work staff. We've accomplished a lot in the last 6 years, but there is still a tremendous amount to do. So let's keep the momentum going. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anything else, Mary, that you might have?
That is all I have tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Swikammer.
Yeah, a couple items. Everyone should have the Arbor Day flyer for next month. Anyone that can make that, sure we would appreciate it. One thing the mayor didn't mention that I think is worth mentioning, there has not been any increases in our utility rates now for 6 years. And that's a big thing. And again, that's the income tax has really helped keep our utility rates down. So that directly impacts every resident. So I'm very proud of that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Swikammer.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
the Visitors and Convention Board had a request. I know that everybody, well, most people are aware of it, just wanted to fill in the rest of the council, for a program called Movies at Manpower. It's been going on for 2 years now. We've had a lot of success. They put in a request for some funding to offset, they had donations and some other things to offset the cost of the program. It's more than one night, there's 3 different movies over the summer. And talking with the board members, which is Mr. Reed and President Folks, we thought maybe that the city recreation department could help fund the program. So I believe we're on track for that. Some meetings probably need to be set up between you guys, but I just want to let the council know that it kind of meets all the requirements for recreation. It's a program for kids. Lots of kids showed up. She shared a success story from last summer where they did the Sandlot movie. They had a kickball tournament. It poured the rain, and people, huddled around the shelters and stuck the rain out. And, ended up watching the movie. So it's well received by the public, and I feel like it's a good use of recreation funds. If anybody has any questions or anything, I'd be happy to ask or get you in contact with the lady who runs the program.
Rachel Tippett.
Rachel Tippett.
Yes.
So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Dan? We have discussed that administration, including with President Folks there. We are going to reach out to them. We do think that's a good program, and the city is certainly like to help sponsor that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move into the ordinances and resolutions portion of our meeting. We will begin with third reading on ordinance 10, 2026. Ms. Rippeth?
An ordinance creating 2 positions of manager and establishing the maximum salary and declaring an emergency.
Discussion. Ms. Rippeth?
Foster.
Yes.
Hinch.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters. Newkirk.
Yes.
Wiseman. Bop.
Ordinance 10-2026 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration on first reading, ordinance 17-2026. Ms. Rippeth?
An ordinance establishing the salary of the Lillian Jones Museum Director and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 17-2026 as presented to council? Mr. Bach, second by Ms. Colby. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion. Mr. Reed?
The museum board had come to us and wanted to do an increase in wages of the museum director. And then also, you remember last year we switched it to a full, actually a city employee position instead of a contract. So this just sets the salary, and so the council is the one that sets salaries for the city, and it'll just put it in place the right way. So we're asking this be passed so that it's not going to change. She would get a 3% raise from last year's salary.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Other discussion? Any further action to be taken on ordinance 17-2026 as presented to council? Hearing none, this constitutes the first reading of ordinance 17-2026. Next, for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 18-2026. Ms. Rippeth?
An ordinance repealing and amending ordinance 08-21 regarding police personnel as set forth in the City of Jackson's codified ordinances as section 131.01.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 18-2026 as presented to council? Mr. Peters, second by Mr. Bop. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion. Mr. Swackhammer.
Yes, the section that we're looking at is section E of 131.01 for the dispatchers. Currently with 5 dispatchers. Dispatchers work 8-hour shifts with the amount of vacation, personal time, and so forth. 5 people cannot cover for all the vacations. So in what we would like to do, the 7 could actually be a couple part-time individuals. They do not have to be full-time individuals. And that would be determined based upon, we've got some of them that's got quite a bit of vacation time, personal time. So for about every 3 officers, or really it's city employees at all, any 3 you have, you've got to have a 4th one to do nothing but cover vacations and their plus their own. So with 8-hour shifts, just not enough staffing.
Thank you, Mr. Swackhammer. Mr. Hinch, Chief, would you like to have anything to chime in with that?
Well, we've run into so the job has gotten more and more complicated over the years. More systems, more computer systems, more responsibilities. We used to be able to cover some of those gaps that he's mentioning by offering overtime to the road officers. The problem is, and we used to have a system where a lot of people came in as dispatchers and moved up to the road, so they were trained initially how to do that job and had some experience doing it. That's not the case anymore. That job has gotten so complex, they have to be EMD certified, they have to have training on this new 911 system. We're introducing a CAD. And it's really a job that's so specific that the training time is lengthy. If we run into one of those 5 that ends up with a surgery or they decide to quit or they decide to take another job, we're very, very, very short-handed for the time it takes, which can be months to select, train a new person. And so what this helps us do with a part-time person is bring somebody in, train them overtime to do these duties and responsibilities to cover some of those empty shifts. but it gives us a little bit of backup on a very, very important position to make sure that we've got somebody that really can step into that role. The last medical retirement that we had, it was medical related. We weren't shorthanded because we had a part-time. We were actually in violation of this ordinance, so I didn't understand that at the time. So I've not replaced, once that person medically retired to full-time, we moved our part-time guy up. Because this ordinance exists, I didn't hire another part-time person. So this enables me, that's what I approached the administration with, is I'd really like to get back into that safety net position. But I can't, because I don't want to now that I'm aware of this not including the part-time dispatchers and those other two positions. I can't do that, so that's why we brought it to council's attention to help modify that.
Thank you, Chief Finch. Other discussion? Mr. Peters?
You have tenured people. I say, I don't want to be rude, but you got some people that have some time in, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
We have some that are, and we,
at retirement age, basically.
I've got 3 people that have fully retired, basically have got their full retirement age in and are now working. Some of them started over, so their time started over. Some of them didn't do that. Some of them are just working well beyond.
I guess
they
my
can walk
question,
anytime.
my question is that you do still run the risk of someone leaving.
Absolutely,
Everyone.
every day.
Yeah.
I've got 4 people that can walk out that don't need that job. I
Right.
guess they could do that to me.
Yeah, it's a problem, so
I would encourage, if there's question and research that people really wanted to do, I'm prepared to answer this question.
The other part too
today.
is like overtime, so you gotta try to figure out, like, is it probably more cost effective to hire a part-timer than to pay someone, especially whatever your contract says, over a certain hours might be double time for some of those employees too, so.
I will tell you with the number of hours, and I know how many hours we had dispatched the last 3 years. It wouldn't be beneficial to cover with a full-time,
Right.
but that's definitely beneficial to have that other part-time person.
Yeah, I'll move to suspend the rules.
Suspend.
Adjust it.
Second by Mr. Bob. Discussion? Ms. Rippeth?
Foster.
Yes.
Hinch.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Wiseman. Bob.
Yes.
Further discussion? Ms. Rippeth?
Foster.
Yes.
Hinch.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters. Newkirk.
Yes.
Wiseman. Bob.
Ordinance 18-2026 is duly adopted. Our our only resolution and last piece of business to act upon is Resolution 7-2026, first reading. Ms. Rippeth?
A resolution authorizing an agreement accepting the professional services proposal of MKSK Incorporated related to the Downtown Revitalization and Parks Project and declaring an emergency.
Could I get a motion to adopt Resolution 7-2026 as presented to council? Mr. Newkirk, is there a second? Ms. Hinch, second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion. Mr. Sweatkammer.
The mayor mentioned 3 of the projects that we had coming up. This one here is AMLA grant funded. This is associated with the trails, and I think, Mary, you was wanting to speak a little bit about it.
Well, this is to hire the consultant and the engineering company to develop the plan to use our AMLA grant funds. That was a grant we received, or we applied for over 2 years ago, and received, and this is finally getting someone on board to develop that project so we can get it out and get it started.
Other discussion?
Yes, since this is from Farmers Market to Bridge Street, I hate to use the word assuming, the old railroad bed.
That'll be part of it, the Historical Society area.
Right.
But that'll be part of it.
What I was going to bring up before I read this is the bridge back there behind Marion Lewis Furniture is very dangerous and in
Yep.
very bad shape.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done some pre-inspections already. And
Yeah, I mean, someone could fall, that's not just 3 feet of water down there. So,
But that's the whole idea, is
Okay.
to connect the High Street parks, correct me if I'm, High Street Parks clear over to the
Yeah.
Harding Avenue
Yeah, that would work.
parks.
That would work.
Mr. Peters?
$320,000 for engineering.
Yeah, for a $2 million project. That's about the going rate these days.
crazy.
It is,
Architects and engineers are.
it is a lot. It's about twice what it used to be.
Yeah.
The percentages, but it is the going rate now for
Yeah.
engineering consulting for projects.
Civil engineers are the highest.
And it's still hard to find one at that.
Mr. Reed?
Where are they out at? You know?
Well, they're all over the country, actually. David, do you remember where they're based? Cincinnati.
Discussion?
This is from 2020.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2024, right?
Actually, we applied for it in '23, but yes, late in '23. Yes.
I would move to suspend the rule for, I gotta keep the project rolling on. Is there a deadline on the vending?
No, it's just,
Motion by
not
Mr.
really.
Peters, second by Mr.
I'll
Newkirk.
move to
Discussion?
This is all grant money too, by the way. This is all grant money. I still don't like to spend it like that.
Ms. Rippeth?
Foster.
Yes.
Hinch. Yes. Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Wiseman. Bob.
Further discussion? Ms. Rippeth?
Foster.
Yes.
Hinch. Yes. Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Wiseman. Yes. Bob.
Resolution 07-2026 is duly adopted. This concludes a portion of our ordinance and resolutions. I thank council folks for their work with this. Looking at our agenda, I don't clearly believe we have any correspondence to speak of. Is there any old business to be brought before council?
Two questions. I just wonder how the DORA certification.
I got the certified report and that certified ordinance rather.
The last thing I had written down was the cameras. There was saying that a lot of talk that the cameras, like the city's surveillance and security cameras are not all working properly. And also, a series of events, a few months ago, we realized there was no cameras at the fire station as well. So just wondering where we're at with the at least repair of the ones that are not operable, and then installation of the ones on other city property where it's missing.
We opened, not last week, week before, a PO for not only some repairs, but also some purchases. Some of them weren't repairable. So that, IT opened that the week following the last meeting.
Any other old business to be brought before council? Hearing none, new business to be brought before council? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion for adjournment. Mr. Peters, second by Mr. Newkirk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.